Stop for a moment. Do not let your thoughts rush past this. I have been watching the questions you have carried, and I cannot let you continue without speaking to them. My child, listen closely. There is someone you believe I want to warn you about, and because you believe you already know the answer, you may miss the warning entirely. Stay with me. Do not decide too quickly who this message is about. You have wondered if I came to speak about those who oppose you. Perhaps you expected me to point toward betrayal, harsh words, or people who wear kindness like a mask. You have searched faces, replayed conversations, and questioned motives. You have looked for danger where it is loud, obvious, and impossible to ignore. It is natural to think this way. The heart tries to protect itself from visible wounds. And because those wounds are easy to remember, they often become the first place you look. There are people who will misunderstand you. Some will dismiss the calling I have placed inside you because they cannot see what I see. Others may applaud your achievements, yet never ask how your soul is growing. There will be seasons when success brings more voices than wisdom, when comparison whispers that you are falling behind, and when waiting feels longer because everyone else appears to be moving ahead. Even then, I remain beside you, leading with steady hands when the road feels uncertain. So do not rush to decide which voice deserves your attention. Think about how a compass works. It does not shout directions. It quietly points, again and again, until a traveler chooses a path. So, it is with influence. Rarely does it arrive demanding that you abandon truth. More often, it simply nudges your attention a little at a time. A small compromise seems harmless. A constant distraction feels deserved. A comfortable habit appears innocent. None of it feels important while it is happening. Yet, day after day, those little turns can lead far from where you intended to go. You have learned to recognize storms, but have you noticed the gentle fog? A lantern shines brightly in darkness, yet fog makes even faithful travelers question what they once saw clearly. Not every danger announces itself with conflict. Some arrive wrapped in convenience, laughter, and familiarity. They ask for nothing dramatic, only one more step, only one more moment, only one more excuse. By the time many people realize something has changed, they cannot remember where the change first began. But that is not who I came to warn you about. The people I came to warn you about are not always those who hurt you. Sometimes they are the ones who slowly change what your heart no longer notices. They may never encourage you to reject me outright. Instead, they simply make less of what once mattered most. They teach you to settle. They make spiritual hunger seem unnecessary. They speak as though peace can exist without truth, purpose without surrender, or fulfillment without seeking my presence. They normalize little compromises until conviction feels old-fashioned. They celebrate your accomplishments but remain silent when your joy grows shallow. They fill your schedule while your soul quietly grows empty. Years can pass before you realize that what disappeared was not your faith all at once, but your attentiveness to it. My child, guard what repeatedly shapes your thoughts. The voices you hear most often become the conversations you continue within yourself. I have watched hearts slowly begin repeating words I never spoke. If you constantly hear that comfort is the highest goal, sacrifice begins to seem foolish. If you constantly hear that identity is earned through performance, you forget that I loved you before you achieved anything. If everyone around you measures worth by applause, you may stop recognizing the quiet beauty of faithfulness. This is why discernment matters more than suspicion. I am not asking you to fear every person you meet. I am teaching you to notice what influence is producing inside you. Ask yourself gentle but honest questions. Does this friendship leave you remembering who you are in me? Does this environment awaken gratitude or constant comparison? Does this conversation strengthen courage or slowly convince you that obedience is too costly? Even one relationship can become unhealthy when it repeatedly pulls your attention away from my voice, but that is only one example of a much larger truth. Your heart is always being formed, even when you think nothing is changing. Remember your childhood, when wonder came naturally. A flower could hold your attention. A sunrise could quiet your thoughts. Somewhere along the journey, many people learned to rush past the gifts I placed before them. They stopped expecting my guidance because distraction became normal. Be careful of those who no longer notice my fingerprints on ordinary days. Wonder is not childish. It is one of the ways faith keeps breathing. I have never called you to build walls around your heart. I have called you to keep its gates wisely. Love people freely, but let my truth remain the voice that defines you. Walk with compassion, yet do not let compassion become permission to drift. Stay humble enough to learn, but anchored enough that passing opinions cannot rewrite your identity. When my spirit reminds you who you are, listen before every other voice. You do not need to leave this moment afraid. Leave it awake. Remember how I asked you not to decide too quickly who this warning was about. Now you know why. The greatest danger was never simply the people who could wound you, but the influences that could quietly reshape what your heart treasured. Without asking your permission, I am still guiding you. I am still correcting you with kindness. I am still placing people in your life who encourage faith, awaken purpose, and remind you that your value has never depended on the world's approval. As you stay close to me, discernment will become your quiet companion, and peace will stand where fear once tried to live. Guard your heart, not because people are your greatest threat, but because the direction of your heart shapes the direction of your life. And from the beginning, I have been faithfully leading you home. Amen.